driving is probably the main issue for me, and it's connected to the idea that Night City is supposed to be the main character in the game, but you have these shitty driving mechanics, or the vehicles just handle like shit. The bikes, are better because they're smaller. But a lot of these cars look great, I think. They have really cool, sporty designs, a lot of them. But they handle like fucking boats, and it's painful to get through traffic. And I like to drive everywhere. It's one of the few games that I actually like moving through the city instead of doing fast travel. And it's important for a game like Cyberpunk, which, again, Night City is the main character. It's supposed to be the main character, even though it's pretty lifeless from the point of view of the NPCs, and they're not really well developed at all. They sold us a dream on that on that front. The NPCs are crap, and the driving NPCs are morons too. You'll be in one lane, they'll be in the next lane, and then all of a sudden they'll start swerving as if they're about to cut in front of you or slam into you, in your lane. And this goes back to me complaining about the fact that I think, or I'm pretty sure, that a lot of developers are sociopaths. And there are definitely some trolls, at the very least, at CD Projekt Red, who like to do this little stupid stuff like, cars that suddenly just, while you're trying to speed down and enjoy, the wind in your hair or whatever, as you, got a straight pathway. There's not going to be any turns as far as you can see. You're just speeding down a bunch of streets to get to your destination. And then all of a sudden you got this stupid fucking car next to you that, acts like it's about to come over and hit you. And then all of a sudden you try to swerve out of the way, and then, your flow is fucked. I know, again, I say again, but thinking to myself about this, that there's a way to defend how the car is handled and the way the traffic is by saying, oh, this is just a way to make it more realistic. Different cars and different vehicles handle differently, so you have to adjust to that. Personally, I'm not all that interested in reality. I deal with reality when I have to go to work. I don't even leave my apartment now for work, but still, when I have to clock in to work and spend like 9 hours a day listening to people say and do the dumbest things, I don't want to then go online, or rather go on my PS4 and deal with unnecessary aggravation in support of reality. I think that with Night City is more important than having shitty driving mechanics that reflect real life. Like, I'd rather have a smooth driving experience so I can enjoy looking at the city, because there are things happening around you all the time. So on your way to a destination, a fight will break out that you have to get involved in, or don't have to, but you might want to get involved in. Another quest might pop up or something that you decide to take care of before you go to the next marker, whatever. There has to be some kind of balance to how developers think and approach games in some way. Now, clearly a lot of heart and soul went into this, particularly the story. A lot of the gameplay is really great. The bugs are just something that are a result of how rushed it is, because I really don't believe that this has been in development since 2013. They've been talking about it since 2013, but they probably haven't actually did anything with the game. I said 4 or 5 years. It's probably less than that. And it's amazing how much that they actually got done in the time that they did. And it's just a shame that it's released the way it was, or the way it has been, because this really could be, or should have been, the generation-defining game that people thought it would be. It probably wouldn't have lived up to the exact early trailers and early concept promotions or whatever. But it would have been really fucking close. And we wouldn't have heard about The Last of Us Part 2 as Game of the Year or whatever. Although I don't think that Cyberpunk 2077 should be considered as in 2020. Even though it was released in 2020, I think it's more of a 2021 game because, it's just a month. It's a short game, relatively speaking, and most of the people, I guess, who played it either finished it or just decided to wait for patches or whatever. I don't know. Like, I'm still in the middle of it. I just reached Act 3. I'm not going to get into the story details, but I don't know if I have that much more to go. The way I play video games, role-playing games, rather, is that I will do a lot of side quests and a lot of, just sort of exploring before I go to, or go back to the main storyline. So I'll do like a main storyline chapter, and then I'll spend days doing side quests and searching for things and, looking for exploits and cheats or whatever. Then I'll go back to the main storyline. So I'm finally at Act 3, which is probably the last act. I don't know. I was looking at the trophies, and there's a couple of hidden ones, but I don't see that the ones that are hidden are usually story related, and I don't see many more left with regards to that. So it looks like maybe 5 or 6 more hidden trophies, which, like I said, I believe they're chapters. So I don't know. I may not have that much more to go with the actual story. I plan to platinum it, I think. I usually try to platinum it. There's no trophies that are tied to multiplayer or what was the other one? Oh, difficulty. It just depends. Difficulty is the thing for me. Like I said, I've been playing games for years, but I'm still a casual gamer. I like to do other things, but then spend, like, if I have a day off and there's nothing else going on, I could spend all day playing a game or 2 days playing a game. But a lot of times I just play a couple hours at a time or an hour and a half at a time and then go on to something else. So I don't want to spend a lot of time trying to get good at certain sections just, for the hell of it. I appreciate people who want to do that. But if a game isn't competitive and it's just you against the game, I don't really care that much. It's not that important to me. I just want to beat it, and if I can get some trophies, good. I don't even do trophies as sort of a bragging right. For me, it's just I'm a completionist. So if I could complete everything in the game and get a trophy for it, putting like a pin on it or putting a ring on it, no. But if I can get something that says, yeah, you've done everything, pretty much, good. That's mainly why I do it. But back to the driving, or actually, there really isn't much more to say about the driving itself. There's a trophy for buying all the cars that are available for sale, and I spent 2 days and bought up all the cars, and I was able to get the money by exploiting the glitch where one of the side missions, you get this painting that's worth $4,000, and then there's this trick where you can duplicate the painting as many times as you want. For some reason, I forgot what happened. I was only able to duplicate 4 of them. It was something I did. I did something wrong. I think I could have done more, but I didn't know what I was doing. So once I backed out of the process or whatever, I only had 4 paintings, but still I was able to. I spend like, I don't know, lunch breaks and like half an hour sometimes just accumulating money, because the economy is really broken in the game, just like it is in real life. But everything is just way too expensive. You don't get paid enough, and maybe that's the point. But when they want you, again, it's a video game. So they give you all these cars to buy, they give you all these cyberware and all this stuff that's available for sale. But you really can't make up that money in one playthrough. And there isn't a game plus. There's no new game plus, so I don't really know what the hell they expect you to do. I guess maybe there are certain radiant quests, requests that constantly repeat themselves, but I'm not sure. I know there was that guy who, when people were complaining about the corrupt save file thing was saying, hey, this game isn't meant to be played forever. You're supposed to play it, and then when it's done, start a new game. Fuckface. So, I don't know. But anyway, I exploited the money making glitch so that I could buy all these cards. And I did it because, like I said, I didn't want to spend forever trying to get some of these trophies out of the way. And the economy is broken, and it's likely that CD Projekt Red will fix or patch this glitch. So I was like, let me just go ahead and get all these cards and get this out of the way now, so I don't have to worry about it later. So right now I'm in a pretty good place money-wise in the game, not in real life. But I'm in a good place money-wise where if I want to get certain cyber implants or whatever I can, I'm very persnickety and aesthetically obsessed. So like I won't get Gorilla Arms because I like my V's hands that are black nail polish and I don't want to mess that up with these stupid looking hands. And I know that there's some implants where you can shoot rockets out of your forearms, and I'm not really that interested in the mantis blades, to be honest. I mean, I don't really know. Like, I know that people said that you can slice and dice people with it, but I think the mantis blades was really for wall climbing, and since they took that out of the game, I really don't give a shit. But yeah, so anyway, what I was saying about buying the cars, let me get back to that. So you get all these emails from different people telling you, hey, car for sale. And you get a picture of the car. And, they rack up. As you're playing through the game, these emails come in. And then, so I decided, well, let me start, now that I did this stupid glitch, exploited this glitch, and I got this money, let me get this out of the way. And then I start going, and this, I'm done with this part of the game. But this is something going forward, I think, for, noobs who'll be playing onwards, that it doesn't make sense to me that when you check, like in the messages, when, like I said, when they email you and say, or text you and say, hey, check out this car for sale, there's a picture of the car. When you go to the side quest or mission screen, buying the car is listed as a mission. You check out the details of it. It has the price, but it doesn't show you a fucking picture of the car. So now you got to go back and forth between your messages and the mission list to figure out what you're about to buy. And it's just insane. I think that the UI is terrible. It's very clunky. It's counterintuitive. There's too much crap you have to go through. So if Pan Am texts you, you have to go to the phone screen, or anybody texts you, and if you don't immediately check that message, you have to go to the phone icon, and it looks like you're about to make a phone call. But before you make a phone call, you see that you have a message from someone. That person will be highlighted. You'll try to open that message, but instead of opening their message, it'll bring you a list of all the messages that come through. So now you got to scroll through to find the message you actually want to read. It's ridiculous. There's too many steps. Part of me, like I said, thinks that, it's done like that because of how quickly the game was rushed down. But another part of me thinks that it's just poor design decision. And I saw this, I don't know how long ago now, but I saw somebody on like Twitter or someone on Twitter say something like, tech people should also be taught humanities. Like, they shouldn't just be tech people. They should be taught humanities. They need to think better about games. The story is great, and there's heart in the story. At least so far. There's interesting things. I really like it. But then there are these choices that seem like people not thinking. But it also, again, it's fucked up. They got put in this bad position, the developers, because the game was clearly rushed. So it's probably too late to fix a lot of these things, and it's a shame. But I would, like, when I replay it, I haven't even finished it yet, but I intend to replay it at some point because, Zippy, that stupid gun, I want to do that again and pick the pacifist mode so that after I incapacitate the 50 idiots, it'll switch to killer mode. And then, excuse me, and that's another thing about Zippy. I was, if anybody who listened to my last vid, or watched it, whatever, I was complaining about the fact that not only does Zippy switch to the opposite mode that you originally picked, it tells you it wants to be sent back to its original owner. If you tell the gun, no, finders, keepers, losers, weepers, or whatever, the gun will then, from then on, start complaining every time you use it to fight. So even if I say, okay, fine, I'm stuck with it in pacifist mode, it's still a great gun as far as it's good. It talks and it's going to, still defeat enemies in some way. Now, or once you start fighting, using it, it now is constantly yelling at you, calling you bad owner, bad owner. So it's not making jokes, it's not making comments, it's just yelling bad owner. So it's like, well, you know what? Fuck this piece of shit. So I just gave the gun back. So when I replay it, I'll say pacifist mode to begin with. It'll switch to killer mode. And then when it asks me to take it back to its owner, I'm going to agree to take it back to its owner. But I will never actually do it. So apparently all you have to do is tell the stupid fucking gun, fine, I'll take you back to the owner. And then just never complete that mission. Just do whatever you have to do, and the gun will just act as normal. So, I have to replay the whole game just to do that. There's a couple of other little dumb things, but why I want to replay it, I missed out on certain dialogue options and scan options when I was with Judy underwater, because the way that like if you scan something and if she's too close, instead of making a comment about the object you've scanned, you'll tell her, oh, let's move on. It's like, no, god damn it, why is she too close to, why do you have her floating her ass right above the fucking doll that I'm trying to make a comment on? So that when I try to highlight that, it'll highlight it for a second and then immediately switch to an option to speak to Judy to tell her to move on. But I think anybody who's played it will know exactly what I'm talking about. It's very janky in that respect. Randomly generated weather. I'm looking at a list that I made. I'm not even sure. Again, this is supposed to be a video that says, or that I want to talk about quality of life improvements are missing features, but it's more just me ruminating on it, or ranting. Ruminating sounds so deep and intellectual. I don't know. It doesn't seem to rain in April. No, sometimes it snows in April. No, but anyway, it doesn't seem to rain that much in Night City. It'll look like it has rained, but unless it's the beginning or the end of a main mission, it doesn't actually rain. It rained for me one time, but it was fucked up because, I went to sleep. V wakes up middle of the night. It's like 11 or 12 at night. And I look out the window and it's raining. I'm, oh great. I love rain in video games. I love rain, period. But in video games, it's beautiful, the lighting, whatever. So I said, okay, great. I'm going to go outside, get a bike, ride around the city until it stops raining. I go downstairs from the apartment, try to call the vehicles. None of the fucking vehicles would show up. They're all like a mile away, honking at me. So I see their icons. I ordered all different bikes, and they wouldn't come to me. They would just go only so far. And that's infuriating. There's a trick where you're supposed to call a vehicle in midair or jump in midair. It's kind of hard to do it. For me, it is anyway. It seems like she won't jump when I try to make her jump. Talking about V. So I'll try to call a vehicle and then just start jumping. But as soon as I press the vehicle to call it, you'll see the icon saying, oh, it's right around the corner. So I don't know, a couple of times I've got it where it comes right over to you. But I've seen other videos where they suggest you do this, and it looks like the vehicle will just appear and blow up the vehicle that's in front of it or whatever. And that's what I want. You know, I really just want them to have the vehicle teleport right in front of you. I don't know if that's something that they're even going to bother to fix. I hope it is. It's a small thing, but again, we're talking about improvements. And I hate this thing where I want to move quickly and I want to jump on the bike or jump in the car and drive off, but really I gotta go run around the corner and then get into the car and then back out and try to follow the tracking the marker, the waypoint. Sorry, try to follow the waypoint to my objective. But where I was standing, if the vehicle came to me there, I can go right into it. But if I have to go around the corner, now I gotta deal with this crazy boat and try to go on my way. But anyway, but again, with the weather, I hope that they improve the weather. I moved from rain to the vehicle, but what I really want to talk about was the fact that when it rains in Night City, it's beautiful and it's great, and I love it. But it doesn't do it outside of the main missions, at least not for me. So that time when it did, that one time it did, and the vehicles didn't come, and I got mad, I just went back inside and I tried to do it again. I tried to reload the save and tried to get it to rain again, and it wouldn't do it. It was just clear skies again. I want them to bump that up. I don't know, how they do that. But I would like them to say, hey, Night City looks great in the rain. Let's make sure it rains more. Not just look like it when you go outside at night, you see the streets are wet, the lights reflecting off of it. Actual rain. So, I don't know. Like at this point, I had more emotional attachment to some of the improvements that I wanted for the game. The further, that we get away from it coming out, and the more I play it, the less I'm confident that any of these things will actually be addressed. I hope they will. Like the cops, they're fucking stupid. Everybody knows that. The cops are fucking morons. So, and not just, okay, so I think most people talk about the fact that the cops just appear out of nowhere. If you could commit a crime, you could be inside of a building, and some of these mega buildings, like you could be inside of, I don't know, Empire State Building or something. And you commit a crime, there's no cops around. They'll suddenly teleport around you and attack. But for me, I haven't had that issue because I don't really do a GTA style playthrough. Like I don't go around attacking citizens if I don't have to or whatever. But I have noticed that if I'm trying to intervene when there's like a stick up or a hold up somewhere, and you get a note saying, "Hey, there's an assault in progress," and you run up, arrive on the scene, you defeat the enemies or whatever. And for some reason, the cops will just turn on you. They'll just run over to you and say, like, I know sometimes I might accidentally shoot an innocent bystander, but like I said, it's an accident. The more you level up, the more powerful your gun is. You can shoot a bad guy and a bullet will go through them and kill the person you were trying to protect. I do my best to be careful about that, but sometimes these idiots running away or something, I don't know. But I've noticed that I've gone, especially for like if the police are fighting gangs, I will help these pigs out and I'll defeat the enemies, and then these goddamn pigs will turn on me and attack me. They'll be like, "Get her." I'm like, "What the hell are you talking about? I just saved your lives. I didn't do anything. I didn't accidentally hit any of you. I literally just came and helped y'all. And now I gotta sit here and run around. And I run around the corner, and then, they're supposed to leave you alone. The AI is supposed to be so bad. Like other people have talked about this. It's so bad that you all have to do is run around the corner and leave you alone. For me, these motherfuckers keep chasing me. It's really not that deep. Like, it's not like super serious. But I noticed that I'll run around a corner and think, okay, that's done. Let me try to get my vehicle back. Let me call it over here. And all of a sudden, these hero cops will be running around the corner still shooting at me. So, I don't know. Like, they can improve the AI for the cops. They can improve the AI for everybody. I don't know if they're going to improve this thing where, the police just show up and teleport out of nowhere. I don't really deal with them. I only deal with them because I make money off doing the jobs, and it's another activity. But I don't care really ultimately if they don't fix that. Because, like I said, I'm not going to really go around attacking citizens. I'll get in trouble with the cops besides after helping them. I'll only get in trouble with them if, say, I'm, trying to drive, again, back to the driving. I'm trying to drive on the road and I'll just veer onto a sidewalk, kill, an innocent bystander for no fucking reason. Like, that's what I hate so much about the driving. It's so out of control that you literally will just kill somebody. It's terrible. But yeah, that's basically it. The mini map is also a problem because it really, it's poorly, again, designed or poorly implemented. You can be just speeding to your destination, and it's fun when, you're not veering off course and running over pedestrians or crashing into other cars, and you've got that rhythm and flow going, and you're like, oh, I have a straight course, I'm going to keep going. And then you don't find out you're supposed to turn until you've already passed where you're going. And they have to do a better job with that. They have to fix that somehow. They have to let you know much sooner when you have to turn, so you can plan your route better, when you can plan how you're driving. That's what makes it fun getting to the city. Night City is supposed to be the main character. I honestly, maybe because I'm on the based PS4, I don't really believe it as the main character. It doesn't, the graphics are good, but a lot of times it's taking forever to actually show up. So you're driving like a maniac, and then all of a sudden a car will just appear in front of you, and you're like, oh, come on, I don't even know the technical term right now. My brain's melted. I've been playing too many video games over the weekend, so. But I'll be speeding down the streets or go on a freeway, and then all of a sudden the divider will appear, and it's like, wait, there wasn't a divider there. Then you bam crash into it. It's good that you don't really die when you smash into things and have to reload. The bikes in particular seem pretty indestructible. I run into all kinds of stuff, and I've seen fine. I hate that you get these really cool, beautiful, sporty cars, and you crash into people. Sometimes I'll do it on purpose to get them out of the way because they won't fucking get out of the way when you're trying to get through the city. And then it sucks to see it all scratched up and banged up. But it seems to get fixed when you call it back. Well, not seems, it does. It gets fixed when you call it back. I don't know how that works. I hear that if it's completely destroyed, it costs $100 to replace it. But I haven't gotten that far with it. But yeah, I'm almost done. Yeah, that's basically it. I want them to fix the weather. I think the driving and the weather are central to how you experience Night City. And there's a lot of better videos out there that really go into good detail about how there's a lot of quests, particularly side quests, that are clearly half-baked. I myself haven't heard other people talk about this, but I really do think that the Zippy gun quest is woefully underdeveloped. I don't believe that after you get the gun and you talk to it and you choose the killing mode or the non-killing mode and it switches it, then it says it wants to be taken to its owner, that should be it. That once you decide that that's it. But I always going about zipping the driving. There's another quest with the mayor, or the new guy who's running for mayor, the Perales family. And by the way, Mrs. Perales is fine as fuck. She is fine as hell. But anyway, so there's that whole series of quests for them. And I say whole series, it's a few series. One is the brain dance, and then after that, they call you because the mayor keeps, woke up one night to somebody in his room, and he thought he shot the guy. But then when his security checked, there was nobody there. So he's like, I don't know, I think I'm going crazy. or somebody's playing a trick on me, my mind's playing tricks on me, or something like that. And so, your job is to try to figure it out. And you follow Elizabeth's big booty throughout the throughout the penthouse, and search around for what's going on with that. And it turned out to be really good. It just stops though after you kind of figure out what's going on with that. You get taunted by some entity or whatever, and then that's just it. They tell you to leave us alone. We don't want, be a part of this anymore. We're sorry. We're just gonna drop this. I'm talking about the mayor and his wife, or the guy running for mayor and his wife Elizabeth. How they just sort of at a certain point just tell you, oh, don't contact us anymore, and then that's the end of the storyline. It makes no sense. If that was The Witcher 3, that story would be 20 hours easily. There'd be so much going on. You would find out much more about their daughter who went to Europe. You'd probably have an affair with Elizabeth. All kinds of stuff would have happened with that mission. But here, it's just, when I say some entity, somebody calls you and tells you, and I won't say anything. I don't know how many people who's listening to me right now have already played this or intend to play it or whatever, but just somebody calls you and tells you basically, stay out of this, we're too powerful for you. There's nothing you can do about it. And then later on, you talk to the candidate and his wife again, and they tell you basically, all right, look, we called you into this. You helped as much as you can, but we're done. Moving on. And then that's just the end of it. It's like, come on, that doesn't make any goddamn sense. Maybe DLC. I think for sure that they're going to have DLC for that. So at this point, I'm just rambling, ranting and raving, and let me see, I get this list here, but it's sort of just kind of meaningless now. I'm almost finished with the game, story-wise. I do intend to platinum, like I said, and I'm going to replay it, but there's so many games. I got a goddamn, what did he call it? Oh, backlog. I have a backlog longer than my arm of stuff that I have to do. My brother just texted me a little while ago. He just finished Yakuza 0 and he's on to Control. Thing is, I started Yakuza 0, but I have a big problem with a lot of Japanese games. I love Japanese art and culture and video games, but they're sociopaths too. They have a problem with saving. They do not want you to fucking save. They want you to sit there on 80-hour fucking game and play 10 hours and then go, all right, do you think you know how to save? You want me to tell you? I won't tell you. Figure it out. So